So students, thank you for coming. It's nice to see you, and you're in for a real treat to meet some fantastic people. And with that, I will turn it over to Joni to begin the session for us today.
Pamela, thank you. I love your introduction. So hi, everybody. We want to welcome you to the information session today on the Patterson Foundation's Fellowship Program. I'm Joni Steinberg, and I serve as the initiative lead for advancing philanthropic leadership that includes our Fellows Program, as well as other collaborative efforts with the Lilly Family School of Philanthropy. Especially after I hear your weather, I'm really sorry we can't be in the same room with you, but I am sorry that we can't join you on campus. But we do hope that providing this session in a virtual format added maybe some other convenience for you all in participating. And as we said earlier, we're going to record this session. If you missed something, you could clearly review it, but it's for anybody who's interested in this and not able to join us today. So to start, we'd like to start with some introductions, and I'd like to start with our TPF, or the Patterson Foundation team members. I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves, say how long they've been at the Patterson Foundation, and also in the true nature of any meeting beyond two people at the Patterson Foundation when we have a question of the day, and the question of the day for all of us is going to be, what one word describes the feeling that you had as you entered this information session? So let's start with Deborah. You need to get off mute. It's good, it happens to all of us.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Deborah Jacobs. I have the privilege, honor of being the president and CEO of the Patterson Foundation. And I have actually been with the Patterson Foundation since it became funded. So we're in our 11th year of being funded. And as I came into this Zoom, I came in with TPF has many different words that we use, and possibilities is one of our words. So I came in thinking possibilities that might come out of sharing perspectives together. So I'll share more later.
Hello, everyone. I am Hannah Sager-Karnai, and I am the inaugural fellow with the Patterson Foundation. Today is actually my final day. My final hour as TPF fellow, but I have been here for 2 years, and I am excited every time we have an information session about the opportunity that is the fellowship. I just can't wait to see what the new class of fellows will bring.
Hi, everyone. I am John Ferguson. I'm Fellow 2.0 with the Patterson Foundation, and I have been here right around 18 months, or a year and a half, if you prefer to think of it like that. And for me, it's joy. I love talking about this stuff, and this opportunity has given all of us so much. So you'll hear much more from us later on.
Hi, everyone. My name is Connor LaGrange, and I'm the 4th Patterson Foundation Fellow. I joined at the end of July, so it's been about 2 full months down here in Sarasota, and I've loved every minute of it. The word that I have, I'll go with the synonym to both joy and excitement. I'll say elated at the opportunity to relay this amazing experience to you all.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michael Zimmerman, and I'm the 5th and newest fellow at the Patterson Foundation. I've been here a whole 2 days, and the word that I will use is anticipation, because I'm so excited about what's to come on this exciting and what I believe to be a fruitful journey. So good to be here with all of you.
Thank you. Before I go on, wait, John?
Joni, just to mention, you may have noticed there was a third that wasn't said. So her ghost is with us today, but she has launched, as we call it, and began her next chapter at the Presser Foundation in Philadelphia. And that is Abby Rowland, who is TPF Fellow 3.0. And she is with us in spirit. And her contact information is actually at the very end of the slides, which you will all get in case you'd like to reach out and get her perspective from as a former and launched fellow in their new chapter.
Thank you. We were on the same track. I was thinking from a math perspective, somebody saying this count doesn't work. So thank you. Let's go on. I'd love to hear introductions from the students in the room. And I'm going to do it according to the view that I see. Rachel. Oh, wait, Rachel, I'd like you to give your full name and also where you are, when you're graduating from the master's program, and then also share a word that represents how you feel as you enter this room. And then I'll ask everybody else to do the same.
Well, hi, my name is Rachel Close. I'll graduate the master's program this May of 2022. Really excited. But my word entering this session is happy, because my laptop crashed an hour ago and I wasn't sure if it was gonna work. So I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you. So the next person, I don't think it says your name because it says JLG intern and I didn't hear the name that Kathy.
I'm sorry. I'm logged
okay.
to one of my internship Zooms. So sorry about that. My name is Jemana Harris. I'm graduating as well in the spring. Super excited about that. And my word would be open. I'm super excited about graduating and moving on to new opportunities and having a new exciting experience. And so I'm very open to hear and learn here and share some of my questions that I have, and just really excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Elizabeth, we are seeing a picture. We're not seeing you, just so you know that.
Yes, I'm so sorry. My bandwidth is pretty terrible.
That's
so
okay.
allowing me to join you, hopefully. But I'm Elizabeth Coffey. I will hopefully graduate in 2023. So I am just starting my journey, but just curious. So that's my word, is curious.
Right. Well, that's great. We're really delighted to have you here today. And I don't want to let Pamela and Kathy off the hook in terms of sharing a word. So I'm seeing Pamela on the left. I'm going to start with Pamela.
I'm feeling warm because I love all the people in this room.
Yes.
So it's good to be among friends.
Thank you. And Kathy.
Hey, everybody. My word is optimistic.
Optimistic. Great
for everybody.
For today. And I've gone through lots of words and many of them sentiments that you've described, but I think enthusiastic. I was going to tell you later that working at the Patterson Foundation is a joyful experience. And I think you can already feel that in the room among our fellows and our approach to interacting with people at the Lilly Family School. I've been at the Patterson Foundation for a year and a half in this role as head of the initiative of advancing philanthropic leadership. So John is going to pull up some slides for me, but also let me just describe some things about our agenda. Our agenda is going to be in 3 parts. Deborah, in a minute, is going to share with you the background of the Patterson Foundation, its guiding principles and values. Then I'm going to describe some details about the Fellows Program, the application process, and the selection process. And then Deborah and I will be departing the room so that you can have your own private chat with the 4, I was going to say 5, with the 4 fellows in the room, so that you can get a better understanding of what their journey is like, what their experiences are like day to day over the course of the time that they've been here. So I'd like to, at this point, turn this over to Deborah Jacobs, our president and CEO of the Patterson Foundation.
Okay, so I am thrilled to be with you today, and I know everybody has options of where they could be, and you chose to be here, so we thank you. At the Patterson Foundation, words are very important. And as you see on this slide, we approach philanthropy from the aspect of what's possible. What are our aspirations? Not just our aspirations, but the aspirations of anyone that we work with to create new realities. So the Patterson Foundation just comes from a place of, I use my word, possibility. We come from a place of what's possible, focusing on aspirations to create realities. You all have studied foundations. We're a private, fully endowed foundation. And you know that usually a foundation might have a geographic focus or an issue focus or a organizational focus or some blend of that. And in our world, John, if you could put up the next slide. In our world, we have a blank charter. The donor who put $200 million into the Patterson Foundation did not give us any direction. So she did say, do good and do it well. And you go, well, wow, that's a pretty cool thing because you get to give away money. And we actually look at it as a daunting, that Dorothy Patterson gave us great flexibility, superb opportunity, but most importantly, and you can even see the tones of the circles, darkest is the responsibility to make an impact in ways that reflect our values in how we work. Joni mentioned before values. I'm not going to go through our values today, but we are value-centric and values-driven. We actually, if we were on a Zoom or in a discussion or in community, whenever we can be in community, oftentimes one of our values is just woven into the conversation because we truly, truly try to live our values. So what does the Patterson Foundation do? You know, honestly, we could have just said, we are going to focus on dyslexia in Nairobi because we have that kind of a blank charter. So what we decided to do is, and we did it through a learning journey. That's another thing about the Patterson Foundation. We are constantly evolving on how we work based on what we learn as we are connecting with others. But right now where we are is the Patterson Foundation strengthens people, organizations, and communities. And we do it through initiatives. So rather than making grants to individual organizations or for individual programs, we determine where we think we can make a difference with our work. And if it works, fine. If it doesn't, we move out of the initiative. But we also, when we see it working, we stay. So we are not time bound on people. Often there are surveys that I have to answer that want to know what percentage of your grants are multi-year grants. And I don't even know how to answer that question because everything we do is not time bound, but rather how it works. So, okay, we strengthen people, organizations, and community. Now, where do we do it? I think this is a cool thing. We're based in Sarasota, Florida. We work in a 4-county region, and you are not familiar with these 4 counties, but they could not be more different from each other. They're contiguous, so from a distance wise, it's a good mass. But Sarasota County would be considered one of the more affluent communities in our state. We've got an A school district. We continually vote yes on referendums for anything from environmentally sensitive lands to our school district. So we tend to be in, when there's a ranking, Sarasota tends to be towards the top. Doesn't mean we don't have problems. Doesn't mean that we don't have gaps. So that's that. But as we go to, and I'm going to not talk about all 4 counties, but as we go inland to DeSoto County, if there was a chart of every county in the state of Florida, no matter what the measurement is, DeSoto County tends to be in the bottom 10th. So whether it's school performance, whether it's poverty, whether it's free and reduced lunch, whatever it is, DeSoto has immense opportunities of what it could be. And for a wide variety of reasons, it has not yet achieved its potential that it is. So it's a wonderful opportunity for us to work in 4 totally different communities as we work to strengthen people, organizations, and communities themselves. But the way our initiatives work is we don't do anything, we don't think anything up and say, oh, let's do this. We like to get into community. So we find national partners, thought leaders who can help us, so we can download best practices. We can download research-based, this is what works. So we don't have to do that. So we download from national, and quite frankly, the way we work in community with people or with organizations, we talk about 5 sectors: working with people, business, nonprofit, government, and media. So we want to touch everybody who can create community change. And you've got up on the board some of our major initiatives. And you kind of go, well, how are they connected with each other? Yeah, sometimes they are, but it's how we work that is similar. So when we think about national partners or international partners, we help to create the Center for Disaster Philanthropy. We work with NetHope that works with 80% of the humanitarian serving organizations on a global basis. But what we do is we don't fund their programs, we fund capacity and accelerating their impact, but then we download what they do so that we can take advantage of the learnings that they have. The majority of our work and our funding stays in our 4-county area. But again, we still work nationally. So one of the things that wherever you are, wherever you go, likely the Campaign for Grade Level Reading would touch you, or you might have heard of it. It may have a different name, a reading by 4th, 3rd grade success. But we are part of a national network. We're about creating networks and movements that we can learn and share from each other, and we can do excellence together. So from a TPF perspective, it is, how do we do philanthropic work in ways that others are not, cannot, or do not? Doesn't mean that other people aren't in, say, literacy, but it's how TPF works that's a different way, and because we have that flexibility of what our donor said, just do good and do it well. So in any given day, Hannah actually came up with a beautiful analogy, I think, about thinking about TPF. We are this huge stovetop that has at any one time 15 to 20 pots on the stove, all boiling at different temperatures. But yet there's action happening in all of them at any one time. So we are a place for people who believe in possibilities to do important work, do it not in isolation, but with others, to learn and share and evolve as we go in ways that foster wide participation. So I could not begin to go into detail on all of our initiatives, but I wanted to let you know, yeah, we're a little bit different. But I think as you talk to our fellows that are on the call about the muscles that they have developed while they are with us, or still developing while they are with us, it is going to propel. See that little rocket ship there in the middle? That's our TPF fellows. They are advancing philanthropic leadership. They come here to immerse, build, and strengthen muscles that they didn't even know they had. All right. And then they go off. So now I'm getting centered again, because this initiative is called Advancing Philanthropic Leadership. I want to give you a caution. This isn't a gig. It's not a job. What this is, it's almost a calling that the fellows have, that they are determined to make a difference in the broader world, wherever they go. So I want to thank Kathy and Pamela, who actually were possibilitarians when this foundation in Sarasota reached out and said, gosh, do you think we could work together on something? That they said, yes, we could. So together we created this initiative with our goal to create this network of leaders who are going to take advantage of everything they learn here and then head off into the world to make it a better place. So I'm going to turn it over now to Joni, who's responsible for all of this. Oh, by the way, because I don't have a talking time later, John, if anybody looked like they had a question, I'm happy to answer it now or before I leave the room. Okay, so just keep me posted if anybody's got a question.
Okay, Deborah, thanks for that rich and inspiring introduction and insights into the Patterson Foundation. I think the little picture I need on here is a pot on a stove, because we're one of many pots, but the fellows work on so many, if not all of those initiatives on the last slide. All of those initiatives really need skills and capabilities and are opportunities for growth for aspiring philanthropic leaders. So this program is one where we look to create a network of future philanthropic leaders who have the willingness, the capacity, and foresight to incorporate their innovative strategies for the long-term change that Deborah was referring to. In creating such a program for aspiring philanthropic leaders, we chose to collaborate with the Lilly Family School for probably reasons similar to reasons you had, probably well aligned with reasons you had in choosing the Lilly Family School as a place to pursue your education. As you know, it's the first and best known school dedicated to the study and teaching of philanthropy. We really love partnering with an organization that offers innovative approach, as it does, and you're committed to an innovative approach. And as you've grown, we've been able to grow with you in offering the Fellows Program, in partnering on courses that are offered to Lilly Family School students, and most recently in connecting and contributing Lilly Family School students to paid internship opportunities in this community. So as Deborah was describing the Fellows Program, it began 3 years ago with Hannah being our inaugural fellow, and we're here today recruiting our 4th cohort. We seek to build on the education of Lilly Family School master students and their practical work experience, such that the Fellows Program offers a 1-year full-time paid experience in Sarasota, Florida. Amazing mentoring opportunity. I probably have that repeating on every slide, a very unique feature of being working closely with Deborah, with guidance, with assignments, that probably is unique in such kinds of appointments and opportunities. It's a structured engagement with initiatives and operations, working on the kinds of initiatives that you saw a few slides ago. We highly value, we call it building connective tissue, where you build to others out within our community and outside of our community, and access to network transformational leaders. This past year, Hannah and John and Abby established the alumni network of current and past fellows, TPF here representing To Propel Fellows Beyond. And so each fellow becomes a lifetime member of that network that is being self-run by our fellows, both to connect all fellows group over time and to propel them to do even better work. Why should you be interested in a fellowship with the Patterson Foundation? I think a number of these items that we've already brought to your attention. You get firsthand experience with an innovative foundation. As you heard Deborah talk about these initiatives, our fellows get to contribute in major ways to the impact that these initiatives have. There's a broad set of capabilities throughout TPF staff members and consultants, such that anything you work on becomes even better because of those skills across those individuals. And TPF greatly values the work of our fellows in contributing their work, their perspectives. Our fellows take leadership roles on many of these different initiatives. As I said before, it's a joyful environment that welcomes your ideas, even as we had to all go back to not go back to, go to working from afar as COVID challenges hit over a year ago. We remained, I think we are at the forefront in connecting in joyful ways among each other, as well as connecting to the community. I think I mentioned that this is a truly unique opportunity in terms of the mentorship opportunity, where Deborah works directly and regularly with the fellows, which I think is pretty amazing in such an innovative organization. And we offer a competitive compensation package, which includes health insurance and relocation. Not sure what I've missed here, but I'm sure you all, the fellows will be able to add a whole lot more as they describe their initiatives. So who's eligible? Master's graduates in philanthropic studies from the Lilly Family School. If you're starting this summer, you need to have graduated by this coming spring. And we want individuals who are interested in a career in their community, in community foundations, in corporate foundations, and private foundations. The fellowship is in Sarasota, and so you need to be available to reside here in Sarasota, Florida for the duration of the fellowship and have legal authorization to work in the United States. Next slide, please. So I know that there's a wealth of information on our website beyond our postings on each of the initiatives. There's blogs written by everybody in this room, as well as others. There's videos. You can hear Deborah more fully describe some things about this foundation through videos that have been produced. And I'd encourage you, if you have any interest in this fellowship, to research us through our website and also the IU website, where there's things regularly posted there. The application is now available, just if you're curious to learn more about what's required of you, but the application is not due until the end of the day on December 31st. Once we receive those applications that evening, we review those early in January and invite qualified applicants to interview with us over Zoom during the second week of January. So this will be Zoom interviews, and as a result of those, we select very highly qualified individuals to interview with us in our finalist interviews, which are a full day of meeting with a whole collection of TPFers with TPF partners, getting your questions answered, seeing us from so many different directions. Up until COVID last year, we were able to have those interviews on site in Sarasota. We weren't able to do that last year and did our best job of replicating that online for Michael and Connor. But we hope to be back on site again this spring, keeping our fingers crossed on that. And fellows and all involved in this process will be notified of their status by mid to late February. We really appreciate you participating with us today. Let me stop here and ask you if you have any questions to be answered by me or Deborah today. And then I will turn this over to John. Any questions at this point? Our contact information is everywhere. Some of it's at the end of the slide set. You can find us online. And so at this point, I think John, in a minute, is going to stop the recording. And also, I'm going to turn this over to him to facilitate the chat that our wonderful fellows can describe to you what their experiences have been like at the Patterson Foundation. Thank you so much for joining us today. And Pamela and Kathy, thank you too again for arranging this and for being wonderful partners in this and other collaborative efforts. Thank you.